Don't get me wrong.
The first time I heard this figure, I was shocked, but I also really wasn't surprised. Throughout my Irish education, I never had a teacher who looked like me, but I developed the biggest pet peeve for when people decide to blame it on Gaeilge. I can tell you now that Gaeilge is definitely a barrier for people from ethnic minority backgrounds for getting into teaching, but it is not the biggest barrier, in my opinion. Because if it was, there would definitely be more ethnic minorities doing secondary school teaching because there's no Gaeilge requirement there, but the numbers are just as low as they are in primary school teaching. I definitely think one of the issues is representation. The curriculum has only become so diverse in the recent years, and also all of the teachers that children, teenagers are seeing are all white. But also a lot of the treatment of students from ethnic minority backgrounds in education is kind of appalling. So a lot of students from these backgrounds do not want to become teachers because they've had a lot of negative experience with teachers in their life. There's definitely still a lot of unconscious bias from primary school teachers, secondary school teachers, and even in higher education from lecturers. And I definitely will always believe that the diversity of the classroom should definitely reflect in the teaching force. Children should be able to see themselves in their teacher and have relatable experiences. And in order to do this, you need to better the treatment of your migrant slash ethnic minority students in your classrooms. And again, this falls into anti-bias and anti-racism training.
Before you tell another culture to change, what you have to do is learn the culture as if you were born there and see if the numbers change. If you go on my island, it's a Caribbean island. We have black, brown, Asian, white people over there. They all speak their different language. But when a rock lands on your head, you're gonna say, "Tenkonyi mama." It's a culture. You don't get it out. And if you ask them, they always say, "Antillano mita." It's a culture, even if they look different and they have the language. Very simple. The culture should be respected no matter the race.
After watching that vice presidential debate last night, I was curious just how easy that CBP One app was to use. So I downloaded it.
So once you create an account from the main page, you just have to choose if you're the smuggler or the smugglee. Then you just got to fill in basic info, first name, last name, all the basics. I don't know my gender yet. I'm still figuring that out. Now it's time to take a selfie, and passport or any identification is also optional.
Wow. Wow. I did not expect that.
Then it asks you which state you're headed to. I said I didn't know the address. I didn't know the city. I just chose California, and then I added the first zip code that Google gave me for California. And that's it. I'm good to go. It does let you choose between like 8 different bridges to meet under. I chose the Eagle Pass bridge to meet under. I just have to wait until noon, so a couple more hours to actually make my appointment.
Now I know what you're saying. That's not you. That's Carlos Mencia. Correct. I was just trying to show you how easy it was to register. I'm just a white dude from Michigan. This took me 5 minutes. Someone who really wants to get into this country, get temporary asylum with open-ended expiration dates, they'll just use their own picture. I said I have no documentation, I have no ID, no passport, no license. There is no way to cross-check who I say I am with who I really am. All they go off of is the picture that you submit.
How is this fair for those waiting in line for years to immigrate legally? We need answer, not excuse. Really? You want answer? Or you want to see deflection again? All I know is this. It's not freaking fair. And I don't think it's safe either. But hey, I'm not the police. I have no idea what I'm talking about.
We have more refugees per capita than any other state. That's not just morally a good thing. It's our economic and cultural future. This beautiful diversity we see out in Worthington when I'm there, you see 50 languages spoken in the school.
Yeah, but at the same time, I can also ask all the people coming over, would they fight for America? Would they go to war for America? Would they like to pay money to help people outside of America? I think most of them would say no, unless they're going to get something when they have already nothing, because that's why they applied. But hey, I'm not a border control expert, so don't believe me. All I know is this, that maybe there's less border crossing because they're flying them over. There's a possibility, but then again, I'm not part of the Biden-Harris administration. Don't trust me.
I can say, Jim, that 13,099 murderers were let into this country, 16,000 rapists, 425,000 people in the last 4 years have been let into this country by by Kamala Harris and Joe Biden's own Customs and Border Protection that are running
Corey,
around this country, Jim.
The other thing, too, is Kamala
committing
Harris.
crimes.
I don't know. Why do you guys say Kamala? That is, it's Kamala Harris.
Why does this keep happening to me?
I'm just dumbfounded. Instead of countering that, addressing the issue, because we need to find a middle ground, you added how we pronounce a name. But he just said the name wrong, so we need to correct that so we can find a middle ground. A life and a freaking name. And now newsflash, Kamala Harris' husband, the one that is reshaping masculinity, then again had a baby with a nanny. You're not reshaping, you cheated.
More Trump instead of Emhoff, it would be all over the news. Daily Mail, echoed by the New York Post, has a story. Doug Emhoff, Kamala Harris' husband, accused of striking a woman he was on a date with at the Cannes Film Festival back in 2012. They had been drinking, and he didn't like how she talked to the valet. He smacked her. She smacked him back. Ordinarily, I don't care about these stories. You could say, well, there may have been an assault. Well, she didn't go to the police. He's not really running. But again, if it were Trump or anyone related to him, it would be on every TV show that is on right now.
He is the partner of the woman that is fighting for women's right. Bopolaginek, it might be in the past, but I don't know. Maybe he might be a reactive person, and I don't like reactive person in powerful position.
And so I think that the people who want the fist fight are the base of the Democratic Party. Democrats want to see someone get up there and give a knuckle sandwich to Donald Trump. That's what they want.
Sometimes it's telling. There's something about it that I'm like, this might be a reactive person.
And the federal relief and assistance that we have been providing has included FEMA providing $750 for folks who need immediate needs being met.
You said $9 million to Israel, $8 billion to Ukraine, $500 million to Taiwan, and that might go higher because they're going to fight the superpower called China. But you give them $750 because that is going to help them in a place where they have no water or electricity, no internet.
If I were a rich white racist that hated black people, this is what I would do. I would handpick young black boys, mostly from single mother households who want to be rappers, and pay them millions of dollars to make music geared to destroying the black communities. I would make young black women become dependent on government assistance, but only if there's no father in the home. I would dump drugs into poor black communities, incentivize them to sell it and use it to cope with their problems, then put them in prison. I would turn black women against black men, making them disrespect them and hate them. I would use black celebrities, daytime TV, magazines, and the media to help push this. I would then poison their food and make it cheap so that poor blacks can afford to buy it, which will slowly kill them off. Then I'll implement liberal politicians and celebrities. They'll sell them truthful sounding lies. They'll pretend to relate to them. They'll make them think that Republicans are only for the rich and we're for the poor. Even though we live in big houses and safe neighborhoods far away from you poor blacks. And for my final trick, I'll cut them off at the source. I'll stop them from reproducing. I'll make abortion their get out of jail free card. I won't even have to kill black people. I'll just stop them from ever being born. And I'll make sure black women have abortions at a much higher rate than white women. They'll never suspect a thing because we'll make up some catchy slogan, something like, my body, my choice. Yeah, that'll get them. We'll keep them broke, emotional, childless, and fatherless. And the best part is they'll still vote for us.
I think it's spot on. They're using the black vote as a Trojan horse to destroy the middle class because they want to be rich. That's what I think. But then again, I'm not the economist.
Don't get me wrong, makosa kita bong. Put the fire na mi blonde kush hash purple skunk criollo colombici jam jam. Durloqueta verdeta welcome.